Sup, all you beautiful people? CoolMouth here, and today I am going over my top 10 favorite animated movies of all time. Alright, so let's just get right into it. Number 10. This is sort of a unscripted rambling. As I usually do, so just you can just put on in the background. There's not going to be any visuals. Um, so number 10, South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. Now, I think this is one of the best things that Trey and Matt have done. I'm a big fan of their work usually, but I think this is their one of their best I guess projects. Um yeah, this movie is just a classic if you've ever seen it. I haven't caught up with some of the newer seasons of South Park, so I know they're doing some sort of new they're doing a bunch of I guess kind of movies. They're a little shorter than this one. They're not like full length movies. They're kind of on Paramount Plus. I haven't really watched a lot of those. I watched End of Obesity, which was pretty good. I like the all the fast food, not fast food, cereal mascots coming together, and there was like this whole Mad Max chase scene that was pretty dope. But anyway, this one, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, is just I remember watching this when I was like 10 years old, and it was just it worked my fragile little mind, as Carmen would say, and I think it had its 25th anniversary last year. It came out in '99. Um, but I mean, the main thing about this movie is just it's just really funny. I mean, I don't really have too much else to say. It's just a funny ass movie. Um, it's cool. It has a little message about censorship there, but above all else, it's just funny. I mean, I don't really know what else to say. It's just a really the song. It's a great musical. It's one of the best musicals I've ever seen. The songs are slapping because and obviously they are because Trey Parker and Matt Stone are obviously um they're pretty musical guys. I know pretty sure they went to school for music, and obviously Book of Mormon, which I've actually never seen, um, believe it or not, which is kind of insane. So I'll have to see Book of Mormon too. But yeah, South Park Big Long Uncut, number 10 on the list of the favorite animated movies, and number 9 goes to what I another animated movie based on another one of my favorite animated TV shows. Um, Beavis and Butthead Do America. This is an underrated classic. I don't think this movie gets brought up enough, but it is one of the best examples of sort of a TV show brought into a movie. I think it is the best example. It's like the South Park movie is usually brought up as probably the best sort of cartoon movie, and it's up there. But I think Beavis and Butthead Do America slightly teeters it out, just rarely. Like they're both almost toe to toe. So, um, again, this is another hilarious classic. As far as favorite scenes go, Beavis's rant about how he's never going to score is one of the greatest speeches of all time. And what's remarkable, sort of, about this movie is you got this sort of a show that kind of works in like five minute bits, So like Beavis and Butthead, when you watch the TV show, they're not too long. They rarely go past like 10 minutes, and they're just shorts because they play it on MTV. And so when you see Beavis and Butthead the movie, you're like, okay, how is this gonna work? Because I think these characters, I mean, they're always laughing all the time. I feel like you can only watch. Before I watched, I was like, okay, you can only watch so much Beavis and Butthead. But if they stretch it out like this, like what are they gonna do? All they do is sit on their couch. All they really do is just ruin people's lives, right? Like they're just always fucking with people. I mean, they just watch music videos. Like what can you really do with a Beavis and Butthead movie? But they make it work. They take a little kind of simple concept, and I like movies that take simple concepts and sort of stretch them out into something something bigger, something like a huge picture. And so they take away Beavis and Butthead's most prized possession, their TV, and that was their whole kind of personality. Not their whole personality. A huge part of it was they watched a lot of TV. They watched a lot of music videos, and so when you take that away, you can't have Beavis and Butthead. And so they go out on an adventure to find their stolen TV, and all hell breaks loose. I'm not even gonna get into. You just need to watch it for yourself. Again, I could go over the whole. I don't want to go over the whole plot right now because we're only on number 9 out of 10. We're already like 5 minutes in, so I don't want to do this over long. But yeah, number 9, Beavis and Butthead Do America. Number 8, Akira. Again, I'm not. There's not a lot of substance in this video. I'm just kind of going over. Uh, I'm just gonna give them little tidbits here. But what can I say about Akira that hasn't been said? It's up for another rewatch. I should probably rewatch it sometime this week. I've seen it around 2-3 times, around there. But Akira is dope as hell, man. Come on, stop playing with me. It has some of the most style of any anime movie I've ever seen. I've always kind of preferred anime movies to shows. There's some good anime shows too. Like I'm cool with, but anime movies I feel like are some of the. Now, anime is not really a genre. It's kind of a medium, I guess. So kind of the medium at its best. And this is a classic example of that. Yeah, I'm just gonna give it like a minute there. So we're gonna move number 8, Akira. So moving on to number 7, Rango. Now this is one of the greatest westerns of all time, up with your Clint Eastwoods and your Sam Peckinpah's. This is a great sort of, I guess, tribute to classic Western movies. And the character of Rango is great. He's a great protagonist, hilarious, and it's just a blast to watch all the way through. This usually gets brought up as one of the most underrated animated movies. It did win Best Animated Feature in the Oscars, which it thoroughly deserved. The music in here is also great. They got Los Lobos doing the theme song for Rango, which is fantastic. Yeah, just everything here just all comes together. Like it's style. The way the animation looks, it's really you don't really see an animated movie that kind of looks like it. Like it's the whole movie. It is PG, but it kind of has a more mature feel to it. Very sort of gritty kind of look, like compared to other like animated movies, especially like ones for kids that are PG. They're very colorful, but this one is like very like kind of has desaturated is the right word for it. I don't know, but it has this sort of like desaturated, gritty look to it. But it works perfectly for the movie, and that just makes it stand out all the much more from other animated movies. It's got a great sort of message too. It's just I can go on and on about this one. This could have been higher, but I'm gonna keep it at number 7. So number 7, Rango. Go watch it. Number 6, Shrek 2. This is one of the greatest sequels of all time. Up there with Terminator 2. Up there with Aliens. I would put it up there with Godfather 2 is the best sequel. Then Terminator 2, then Aliens, and Shrek 2 would probably be in the top 10 best sequels also. I'm not sure exactly where I'd put it, but I know I'm putting it on my 5th best animated movies. Now, this sort of list is not a definitive, like the ranking system could sort of change because my mind always changes where I want to put these movies, but this is just kind of me thinking off the top of my head. But Shrek 2 just takes everything about the first one, makes it better, blah, blah, blah. It's cliche to say that about a good sequel, but that's what this one does. And I think particularly because I've maybe watched and seen the first one be referenced so much that maybe I just kind of like the second one a little bit more because I'm just a little too familiar with the first one, and I can just kind of predict everything. Every time I watch Shrek now, it's like, I can predict everything that happens. Shrek 1 is still a fantastic movie, but Shrek 2, man, that's where the series peaked, in my opinion. That I Need a Hero scene is a masterpiece. It's one of the greatest scenes in cinema. All right, don't at me on that, because I'm right. Oh shit, we're running out of time. Okay, so number 5, Shrek 2. Shrek Forever After is also very underrated. Number 4, Howl's Moving Castle. This was a toss-up between I might be able to still put Spirited Away. Okay, the top is between Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle, and I know people are gonna probably get upset. I could probably put Spirited Away on this list. I'm not sure, but I really kind of always liked Howl's Moving Castle a little bit more. I don't know what it is. Again, it's something where it's toe to toe, but I just feel it's really just kind of underrated compared to people like it, but when it came out, some people were like, "Oh, well, this is a good movie, but it's not up to Miyazaki's best." I think it's his best movie, like period, point blank. Has some of the most memorable characters. The theme song is fucking banger. Come on now. Howl's Moving Castle, and I have to get going. I can't really talk about this too much because I don't want to run out of time. Number 3, Wallace and Gromit. No, number 4, Howl's Moving Castle. Number 3, Wallace and Gromit: Curse of the Rare Rabbit, which actually beat out Howl's Moving Castle, I think, for best animated movie. Do I agree? I can't say because I love them both so much. But so I'm not gonna answer that. I'm gonna pussyfoot around it because I don't really have an answer. Honestly, they're both amazing. But Curse of the Rare Rabbit is a fucking I didn't mean to curse. Freaking comedy classic. You know what? I will curse just for the sake. This is a fucking comedy classic. Fucking with a capital F. Comedy classic. Wallace and fucking Gromit: Curse of the fucking Rare fucking Rabbit. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, it's hilarious. Go watch Curse of the Rare Rabbit. It's the best stop motion animated movie. It might be better than Chicken Run, and Chicken Run's also another classic. But this is the best Aardman movie, I would say. So, number 3, Curse of the Rare Rabbit. Number 2 is what do I want to? I was thinking whether or not I should put Nightmare Before Christmas or Fantastic Mr. Fox. I think I'm going to go with Fantastic Mr. Fox on this. So Nightmare Before Christmas, I have to go Fantastic Mr. Fox. George Clooney as Mr. Fox is spectacular. And I've been quoting this movie ever since I was probably like 8, 7 years old when I first saw this on Cartoon Network. All right? I've been saying cuss, all right, in place of actual cuss words, if you will. Because this is just, it's fantastic, Mr. Fucking Fox. Come on, man. It's one of Wes Anderson's best movies. I've actually never seen Isle of Dogs. That's Wes Anderson, right? Yeah, that's Wes. I should watch that movie because I love the style of this one. And that kind of has a similar sort of stop motion style to it as Fantastic Mr. Fox. But yeah, this movie looks great. It's hilarious. It's just a blast all the way through. I've already said that about Rango, I think. But I just really like animated movies that kind of have this sort of distinct style to them, if you will. So number 1, I gotta go Toy Story 3. You know, I saw this in theaters, and rarely any movie since then, 2010, has ever topped it. And Toy Story 4, I enjoyed Toy Story 4 too, but I think this was the best. Like a lot of people, this was the best stopping point. It had it is the perfect ending to a movie. And they're coming up with a 5 too, and you know, I'll see what they do. It is Toy Story. It is one of the greatest franchises of all time. So it probably won't be a bad movie, but you could have stopped at 3, and I kind of see why they want to keep continuing it. Because if they stopped at 3, the franchise would have been too perfect. Right? No one would ever have to make movies ever again if they stopped at 3. Because it is the perfect conclusion. So I could have put 1 on here for my number 1 spot, Toy Story 1, because of what it did sort of for animation. I could put number 2, but I decided number 3 because it wraps up everything. Anyway, that's my animated list movie. It changes. My animated movie list, it changes. But that's about it. So if you let me know y'all favorite animated movies. These are my favorite animated movies. This is my list. Let me hear your list. Anyway, love you guys. I'll see you in the next video.